things offensively? Do you think last game was a good indicator of what this team's capable of?
You know, we're capable of a lot when the ball moves like that, and obviously when shots go in, everything looks better. And you know, when you have Davion and Toby start off the game like that, it really sets the tone. And then you know, we played well offensively in a game when, you know, Marcus has been our most consistent offensive player. He had an off night, and we were still pretty efficient offensively.
You mentioned movement. Did that play a huge role this last year against Butler? I mean, getting 2 wins against them like you did.
Yeah, you know, they're really, really good, obviously, and we're last year as well. You know, we have to get the pace where we're going, but they have a new set of guys. Jorgensen's obviously playing a huge role for them, and you know, so, and then there's some guys that are gone, but you know, Keelan Martin's really, really talented, and we have to figure out a way to slow him down.
How much different are they under the new system?
You know, offensively they're different, but I mean you know, Lavelle's done a good job of really playing to their strengths. You know, much like Coach Holtman did last year, he put them in positions to be successful offensively, and I think Coach Jordan has done that as well. And then, you know, they've always just been tough, hard-nosed defensively, and that certainly hasn't changed.
The teams get knocked off left and right. That's a good thing, I think, for college coaches to remind your players that anybody can beat anybody, especially in your league on any given night.
Yeah, I think you know, I said it, you know, after that St. John's game. I think our league's a bear. I think the bottom has gotten much better, and certainly the top is good. I mean, you've got several ranked teams, but you know, across the board, there's just a lot of tough venues to play in, and when you can go on the road and get a win, it's a huge feather in your cap. And the team that probably figures out the best way to protect their home floor is the team that's probably going to end up being on the top at the end. You know, you just you have to protect your home floor if you expect to win in this league, because road wins are so hard to come by.
You mentioned it being a bear, and you mentioned slowing down Martin. I guess that falls in some way to Khyri. What can you say about the mental aspect of turning around and playing Big East caliber guys and having to try and shut them down every week like he does?
Well, it's certainly not easy, and he's always getting the tough assignment. He almost seemed disinterested against Georgetown because their 2 leading scorers were their front line guys, and you know, we put him on who we felt was the next best guard. But you know, he'll be ready for whoever he guards. Obviously, he'll see some time on Martin, see some time on Baldwin. But they start that small lineup with Baldwin at the 4, which puts us in a tough spot with Toby and Martin out there. So we're still you know, experimenting with some things to try to figure out the best way to start the game.
The metrics are old school, but when you take a look at the leaderboard, you guys are at the top of most of the categories. What's different about this team defensively that, you know, in years past that you guys were able to kind of hang your head on that during almost the game, St. John's game?
You know, I think there's been some pretty constant improvement in our defense over the course of the last 2 or 3 years. It's gotten better. We've rebounded the basketball better on the defensive end this year, which is going to make you a better defensive team because you're giving them less opportunities for second chances. And then, you know, also your offense, when we don't turn it over, then there's not a lot of easy baskets. So, you know, the St. John's game, you know, there's no defense for what we did. You turn it over out at the top of the floor and they go down and dunk it. You can't defend that. So I think part of what has made us good defensively is our ball control offensively and the fact that we take care of it. But guys are, you know, they're understanding the scouting report better. I think the guys that maybe haven't played a significant role in the past are buying into what we're asking them to do, and the leadership is really holding them accountable as well as to what has to happen each and every game.
Was Khyri defensively? We'll talk about playing off of the big point guard offensively, but he's on the main option, but other guys kind of like have more juice defensively.
Well, if you're not a very good teammate if you watch what he does every day in practice and what he does in games, how hard he works, how much energy he expends on the defensive end, and still does the things for us offensively that he does. So, you know, the thing with Khyri and the thing that I have to guard against is he, you know, not only does he do it in games, he does it in practice. So, you know, I've got to get him to march somehow, and he's going to wear himself out because he, you know, every possession in practice, he plays it like a game. And, you know, that kind of example is something that you certainly want from your leadership.
We talked a lot during Justin's sort of rise about your guys' ability to develop players, and I'm sure you sold it on the recruiting trail. But, I mean, you've got another group of prime examples this year of guys that have gotten better in your program. How do you sell it to recruits, and do you notice that they respond to that, or do they need sort of the big picture, high-profile guy like Justin to catch
You know,
their
I
attention?
think it helps. I think when you have examples like Doug and Justin, two guys that weren't heavily recruited, that ended up in the NBA, and now you see, you know, the progress that Marcus has made. You know, Davion's progress from last year to this year. Certainly Martine has really turned the corner, and Khyri's gotten much better every year. So, you know, I've got a great staff that understands the game of basketball and understands how to teach the game of basketball. That's the first part. The second part is the guys got to be willing to put in time on their own. And, you know, certainly Justin and Doug were examples of that, and I think Martine and Khyri and Marcus and everybody else on our team, besides the time we spend with them, they get in the gym and they work on their game, and if that happens, there's going to be development take place.
Is it generally how you just sort of review last year and say, hey, this is what we'd like you to improve on, and then you let them go? That's sort of
well, you're building on their strengths.
Yeah.
You certainly don't ever want to get away from helping them get better at what they're already good at, but you're also trying to eliminate weaknesses, and sometimes those are the harder things to work on because you don't have quite as much success when you work on them. But you know, in the spring of the year, we're doing a lot of drills and giving the guys ideas on things that they can work on their own, and you know, they've done a good job of when they've gone back home for a while, they work on that. When they're in the championship center in the summertime, when they're not with us, there's balls bouncing down there all summer long, and it's a reason we continue to get better.
Back at home, Dollar Beer Night, students return. Steve Lavin's here. Steve Lavin. Could you ask for much better, Coach?
Well, I hope I feel okay because I've got dinner with Steve Lavin tonight, and I think we all know how that goes sometimes. So, some way I got to find a chance to get some sleep. But I appreciate the folks at Fox Sports making it happen to get Lav here. He's and really this is about fan appreciation. I mean, that's why we do the Dollar Beverage Night. It's not just beer, it's sodas as well. But so people can come in, and the fans that have been so loyal to us, that we take a step back and make sure they understand how much we appreciate them and the unbelievable support that we have.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Khyri, how do you bottle what you did at Georgetown to carry it over for another game? I know every game's its own story, but how do you go keep the attack you had at Georgetown and carry it over for another game?
Hopefully eat the same thing we ate for breakfast tomorrow. But no, I think we just kind of continue to be ourselves and just play real unselfish, and come out with the same attitude, but probably a little bit more attitude, knowing that Butler came in and beat Villanova. So, but them like on a high pace right now, we really got to focus in and give it our best.
Mac talked about last week about how your unselfish attitude as a team is the table set by you and Marcus being unselfish. I know everybody wants to score, but how important is it to spread the wealth?
I think that's real important. You don't want to get Marcus and Khyri, they're the stars of the team and stuff. You don't want to hear that. And for us, people are going to say that, but for us to win, it's a team effort. So if we're sharing the ball, I feel like everybody else will share the ball as well instead of just throw up shots.
In terms of spreading the love around, do you think this last game was maybe like the prototypical version of what Creighton can be? Is that how you see it?
Yeah, exactly. We play really unselfish. Not every night is going to be someone's night. Like last game, it was Toby's night, Davion's night, Martine's night. He had another double-double. So with everybody, throwing, their effort in and their piece and doing what they're supposed to do, we're going to win every time like that.
What was the winning recipe against Butler twice last year? What did you guys put on the floor that you think translates this year?
I feel like we just played at a better pace. That's what we kind of work on here. We're just playing with a fast pace. I feel like we got a lot of young guys, so I feel like that we can just get up and down and try to wear them out and just continue to play unselfish basketball.
How different are they? Obviously some of the parts are the same, but obviously they went through a transition. Are they a different team?
I feel absolutely they're a way better three-point shooting team than they were last year. Last year you had Keelan Martin probably leading the threes. Now you got everybody knocking them down. You see the Villanova game. So that's one thing we were really going to have to anticipate is taking away their three. But they also got big, strong guards that can drive it in the paint and finish at the rim.
Do you see every week like teams get knocked out? Michigan State loses, Villanova loses. Is that a good reminder that on any day that you got to bring your A?
Exactly. I tell all the guys that you never know. Like especially in the Big East, you can't take any game for granted. So you got to come out there and be focused and be ready to compete at any level. Like you said, some teams will get knocked off left and right, but for us, that's kind of good for us. We don't know what we're capable of yet, and the more we practice, the better we're getting, and the more unselfish we are.
Khyri, you clearly improved in your game over the last couple of years. A number of guys have taken the next step as well. What goes on in the offseason here? Why is everybody, or a lot of players, why have they been able to improve?
When the freshmen came in, I feel like they were on it right away. They were always in the gym, trying to learn like the new lingo of college basketball, whether it's certain play calls or the way we run things and stuff like that. Our freshmen came in really well, and as me being a junior, I'm like, well, I'm not gonna let a freshman be in the gym way more than me.
Right.
But in the off season, I mean, I was kind of everywhere. I was always in the gym probably every day, so. That's something that, just got to be done if you want to be, great at the next level or at the college level.
Two more.
Do coaches sort of instill that, or is that kind of your own sort of competitive
fire? Because it's kind of myself and as well as the coaches. I got it in a lot by myself and with, a couple other guys around Omaha. But, I still worked out with the Creighton guys. I lifted every day, so the off season really is not an off season. It's just a get better season to me. So.
You've gone up against Caleb Martin before, and you've had success against him. How exactly do you defend him?
Oh man, he's way taller than I am, bigger than I am. Probably just really just compete harder than him. He kind of relax a little bit here and there, so those are like the possessions I can get my steal or my stop, and hopefully he's not as aggressive as he was last year.
As a guy who prides himself on trying to take away their best asset on scoring every single time out, when you look at the Big East, do you ever just think, man, okay, this guy's good at this guy's good at this. I mean,
exactly.
Every week you've got to stop.
Yeah. It's kind of tough, but I mean, that's something my teammates expect me to do, and I really just don't like getting scored on. So whoever I'm guarding, really, whether it's their main player or the bench player, I'm really not going to try to let you score on me. But every night I come in with the same attitude, just like, all right, I got to get these stops. Got to get the win.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. Toby, what was Saturday's win like?
It was huge. I mean, we haven't won in Georgetown since we've been in the Big East, so I mean, it was a big win for our organization, and it's a big win to go 3-1 instead of 2-2. So it was a huge win for us at the time.
You're being in zones like that. I mean, you've been in zones like that, but how cool was it to be in it? Describe that to the average Joe who's never been there. When you throw something up, you know it's going in.
I mean, the hoop gets a little bit bigger every time you make a couple shots. So it definitely, my last couple were, I felt like I was throwing stones in the ocean. But it's a little easier when they go in the hoops. But you got to give a lot of credit. The guys found me in good situations, and Matt was drawing up really good plays to get me open shots. And you got to give a lot of credit to them. I was just shooting the ball.
Definitely. It looks like you're more confident with your shot maybe than sophomore year.
I'm always confident.
You're always confident.
Always confident.
Okay. What do you? There's been improvement. I mean, at least the statistics show it. So
no, definitely. I'd just say maturity. I've definitely learned what's a good shot and what's a bad shot, and everyone has their sophomore slumps, but I definitely would say that maturity has come a long way, and talking to Doug and Ethan and everyone before me, and trying to figure out what's a good shot versus a bad shot definitely helps. And Matt's a great coach. I mean, he'll pull good shots out in film, and he'll pull bad shots out. So it definitely makes it easier to know which one's good and which one's bad.
Doug and Ethan find a bad shot. You know what that was?
that was way back. I asked him that way back. But
it's nice to have sounding boards like those guys who've been.
No, yeah,
right?
definitely. That's something about Creighton that a lot of people don't really notice. And it's when you come here, it's a family. I mean, I could text Doug today and he'd answer, and it's the crazy thing. I mean, Jahin's tweeted at me, and I haven't talked to him since August. You know what I mean? We're a big giant family, and that's the cool thing about Creighton.
You see this last game as like a prototypical example of what Creighton's offense can do?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it definitely proves that we can come out and we can shoot the ball. But I would have to look at the St. John's game. I mean, defensively we came out strong, or in the second half we came out better and strong and physical, and that's what won us that game. So I think it definitely shows that we have two ends of the spectrum right now. We have a really good offensive team, and we still have a good defensive team, and when we put them together, we're going to be a tough team to beat.
What comes to mind when you think about facing Butler?
Me personally, physicality. Weidman's he's a big, strong guy, and it's going to be a big battle for those boards. But all in all, I mean, we just got to plug the gaps and get to shooters as fast as we can, because just like us, they can shoot the ball really well.
You talk about that physicality. How much has Martin, just added that dimension to what you guys do?
Yeah, Martin he's been amazing. I mean, he's definitely got extra muscle in his calf, but no, it's he's grown into a really good, really awesome person, and a better basketball player. I mean, these last couple of years, kind of developed into the role that he is in right now, and we saw it through spurts, and and it's awesome finally seeing him come out of his shell and producing the way we all knew he could.
Toby, you see Martine and Ronnie, Davion, his game obviously showed some growth on Saturday. Guys get better here.
No, yeah, definitely.
What's been the last couple offseasons? What's been the key? What have you tried to, as a veteran, tried to express to some of the younger guys that maybe weren't playing it at the time, but you knew that they'd be contributing eventually?
The biggest thing, like obviously with my ankle surgery this last offseason, I didn't do much, but I definitely tried to tell everyone just to buy in. Buy into the defensive schemes, buy into the offensive schemes, buy into getting extra shots. That's basically what you got to do. And our coaches do a wonderful job at making us come to the gym in certain situations, but they also are free and willing to be like, hey, I'm around if you ever want to get shots. So you got to give a lot of credit to our coaches from top to bottom. Everyone's there, managers too. It's a really cool atmosphere, and I don't know if there's any place like it.